Hello, and we're back again for Zwift number 71, another repeat race around Rolling Highlands, stage 4, kick and sprint. This time we had 26 riders go over the start finish line. We're still in the category 210 to 330. My Zwift racing score was on 326 after my previous race. So we've got 2 laps, 23 kilometres. Here is the route. You can see that the route is quite undulating. We've got the breakaway bray down the far end, which has got the lock loop in it, and we've also got the castle corkscrew as well. So quite an interesting course. Did it yesterday. Found it quite tough because of the amount of power in my legs, which was pretty non-existent really. I've only been on the bike once or twice in the last month. So today we're in a group of 26, and we had 2 riders push out over the front. They were Hippolyte Latenya and Arjen Rouge. They pushed off, and the rest of the group tried to chase them back. By this point we'd pulled them back, and you can see that a group of 19 riders formed at the front, and I was one of them. It wasn't a really strenuous start, which you can get in some of these Zwift races, but certainly brushed the cobwebs out. So here we are, we're 2 kilometres into the race. We're still on the lead-in, and so this, as you can see from the mini map in the top right hand corner, is predominantly downhill. I've got the drafting boost. I made a mistake yesterday of holding on to the drafting boost for past the next point where you can get another another power up. So I'm very conscious that I want to pop this drafting boost before I get to the end of the breakaway bray, which is an uphill section which takes us to the start finish line, and then we'd have 2 laps to go. So settling in now, just making sure that I can get in the draft of the other riders. I'm looking at my average watts and looking that it's only 200, which is fine. I'm not trying to get any personal bests today. I am just trying to get my legs to, well, not necessarily recover, but just to get a bit more strength back into them. So wanting to take advantage of the drafts. I don't want to get dropped. I don't want to be riding on my own, so I'm just going to sit in and take advantage of the drafts. So you won't see me push out to the front when we're on a relatively flat or downhill section. So yeah, we're still 19 riders. So here we are on the breakaway bray for the first time. We'll do this 3 times. This will take us up to the finish line when we complete the race. 2%, 0.6 kilometres in length, and it's just a push. So you'll see that we all stretch out here. I was looking on my left hand side to see what my best time was, 107.9 2 days ago. So just wanted to compare that, and you can see that Andre Simos came over the top, and I was slightly slower today, 108.8. I presume that 2 days ago one was on the first lap as well, where my legs were a little bit fresher, because I can't imagine I did it quicker on some of the other laps. But you can see at this point, because of the effort that some people were putting in over the top, that I've got slightly distance, only slightly. Some of the riders did get distance a little bit more. Morton was one of them, also Johnson and Mahalian. But we'll see how they get on. I think Johnson certainly pulls it back and is able to ride with the group again. But yeah, we're working quite well here. Average watts is increasing. We're up to 223. I've popped my draft at some point, and I've now got a feather after going up the breakaway bray. So I'll use the feather probably on the Castle Corkscrew. Here we go, who's that rider who's just zipped through on the green? Two of them. So that may well have been Les Morton is one of them, and Johnson is now riding in the group. So we're not far off the 18, 19 riders again. One of the riders I was watching before, he might have actually quit at this point, but yeah, so we'll keep riding and see how things go. We've got somebody slightly off the front on this slight incline on the Tron bike, and but this is a very quick uphill, so we'll probably pull him back with the draft from the rest of the group. So yeah, altogether around this next roundabout we've got a few uphills to come, and then the Castle Corkscrew towards the end of the loop. So we've got another uphill section here. You can see that Hippolyte Latenya there in the light blue, he's prominent out the front. We've also got Derek Cahoon in the multicoloured top that you can see in the centre. He's pushing hard, and also coming through is Christian McGrail. So there's three of us here. I've pushed as well just to stick with them, see how things go. Didn't feel too out of breath here. Andre Roux has also gone past, Arjan Roux has also gone past. So quite a few riders sticking with the pace, not wanting to be dropped. You can see that the train on the right hand side in the mini map is quite stretched out. We've dropped somebody off the back. Is that Abdul Rahim? He's dropped back, and there's also a couple more. Mahoney he's dropped back as well. He's right behind me, so yeah, down to about 14-15 riders now. That split us up a little bit, and meant that certainly Abdul Rahim, he's looks like he's been dropped. T Tony is also just 10 seconds back as well, so a couple have been distance at that point. So yeah, hoping that that's what happens through most of these uphill sections, just taking one or two out of the equation each time, so there's less and less riders My heart rate's really low at this point. I did have periods in the race where it was up into the 170s, which is where I didn't want it to be, but I did find, compared to the race that I did a couple of days ago, that my heart rate was able to recover quite quickly. So here we're on the Castle Corkscrew. It's nothing too extensive, it's just a quick blast up over an increase at its highest point of 10%, but you can see I'm out the front with a few of the riders. Seema Combi being one of them. Derek Cahoons was also pushing hard. I think those are the two who are furthest out in front, and you can see that potentially quite a few of us are trying to push to latch on. It looks like we dropped Morton at this point. Morton seems to have dropped off by a few seconds, so let's see if we can calculate how many we're down to now. There's two out the front, Mukombi and Cahoon, and then I'm in a group of around about 10, so I think we're down to about a dozen riders left, and we've got another uphill part. We're back onto the breakaway bray, so this is going to split us up again. You can see that Christian McGrail, he pushes hard at this point, and we're able to catch Derek Cahoon and also Seema Combi. But we're all stretched out. There's somebody going off the back, Theodore. He's 2 seconds back. Andres Theodore, he's 2 seconds back at this point. So does he latch back on at some point? I'm not sure. But let's see how this group stretches out. I don't think I increased the time. 1:08.1. So that was quicker than the one before, actually. So that's not too bad. So showing that I've got a bit of strength in my legs, which is what I was finding actually. I wasn't as hindered as I was when I rode it 2 days ago. You can see my average watts is up over the 228, well at 228, so that was real positive. Heart rate's high at this point. Theodore looks like he's going to catch back hold of us because he's back down to just a second behind, and I can't see him on the blobs on the mini-map in the top right hand corner. So it looks like Theodore's back with us, so we might be back up to 13 riders now. So Derek Cahoons is out in front, he's got a 4-second gap. Seema Combi's going after him, Paul Haig also going after him. I'm sensing a breakaway group and I want to be in it, so I increase my watts to try and catch up with Seema Combi and Paul Haig here. But other people are aware of it as well. Andre Simo's in the red and Christian McGail also past. Unionov, he bombs past in the blue, and everybody else is reacting quite positively. So I find myself out the back now of this group. And what I actually find out is that Unionov, he vanished off the standings at this point, so he must have quit. He's still there at the moment, but I'm sure he vanishes off the leaderboard in a minute. Here he is there, running past us in the check kit. We've still got Derek Cahoons out in front. This is the lead up towards the city on the left hand side, so there's a little bit of a drag, 3%. I push on hard. Hippolyte Latenya, he's gone to catch up with Derek Cahoons. That's a back marker. I don't know whether he's on the previous lap just cruising around, but he was of no interest in our race. But you can see that all the riders are to-in and fro-in. There's a lot of changing of places. There's nobody really. I'd say Derek Cahoon was at the front for quite a lot, but McCombie, he was there a bit. The tenure looks strong as well, but a lot of the other riders are jumping around quite a lot. So here's another group that's formed of 4, and I'm pushing hard to catch up with those, but basically we're all together again anyway at this point. So less than 5k to go. I don't feel too bad. I'm just conscious that I want to be getting in my rests all the time, because I don't want my heart rate as high as 160. So any opportunity to get a bit of a draft, I'm going to take that. This is another one of those slow little drags that does have the impact of potentially dropping riders. You can see there's 4 riders out in front, and I want to just keep up with those, so every so often when I'm riding up this hill I'm up out of my saddle in real life, just making sure that I can cover any groups if it does decide to split. But we're pretty much together. One rider has gone off the back, that's Rukovanov, Ruslan Rukhanov. He's dropped off the back at this point, so we might well be down to 11 riders now. So yeah, let's see how this goes, but it's going to be a little bit, I don't know if the word's frantic, but it's certainly lots of riders looking like they could do something in this race to make a breakaway or sprint finishes. So I've got no idea who I'm really keeping an eye on. Matanya was the main one I was thinking about, only because of that start that he made, which was really powerful. But let's just see how it goes with a few kilometres to go. So I've dropped my drafting boost power up at about half a kilometre back on the flat section before we dropped down here. I wanted to use it before the downhill because with my weight I can predominantly keep in the draft of other riders on the downhills. So we've got this Castle Corkscrew here. I try and push hard, but others are doing the same. We've got Mukombi. Umanov is still with us, so I was wrong in thinking whether he'd left the race at this point. We've got Mukombi out in front. He's being chased by Andre Simos. I'm back in 7th. Umanov goes straight past us again there, looking really strong, so maybe he's somebody we can keep an eye on towards the end. I'm conscious that I want to be with these riders here, dropping down the hills. But at the moment, Mukombi, he looks strong out in front. He's made a gap of 6 seconds. There's about 7 or 8 of us here chasing. There goes Uniov dropping off away from me there. So 1, 2, 3, 6. So I'm in a group of 7 here. And this is the final section which has come upon us really quick. We've just been joined by another rider, so we're down to 9 riders. Unionov has made a real burst for it. He's out in front with Mukombi following him. Here's Mukombi and Unionov out in front of him. Christian McGrail's just gone past Unionov. Here is Unionov right onto the finish line, dropping back to Paul Haig, who's riding in 7th place, and then back a few more places to me, crossing the line in 9th, but concentrating on the filming. So here are those final stand-ins. No sign of Unionov in the placing, so I don't know what happened to him, but you can see Christian McGrail came up officially as first in 36 minutes and 51 seconds, averaging just 209 watts. Then C. Mukombi in second, Derek Cahoon in third, just a second behind, Hippolyte Tenure in fourth, Sam Johnson in 5th, just 5 seconds behind, then Paul Haig in 6th, still 5 seconds, Andre Simos in 7th, myself in 8th, 12 seconds behind the leader. Then we had Ian Roos in ninth, and then in 10th place we had on the race Theodore. So yeah, not a bad ride. Felt a little bit stronger than I did 2 days ago. Felt that my power was there. Felt that my heart rate decreased and recovered a lot better than it did a few days before. So potentially getting back to where I was. I think I averaged 2.5 watts in this ride, averaged around 220 watts. So that was okay, nothing spectacular, but like I said, getting back to where I was. When I rode a couple of days ago, I think I averaged 2.2 watts, which is really low. So hope you enjoyed the ride. That was Zwift number 71. Please subscribe and follow me on Zwift as well, and you might be able to see when I am doing other rides as well, so you can join. Potentially going to ride again on Sunday, so catch me then, and hopefully you'll be able to ride alongside or join some of the races. Okay, cheers, bye bye.